Ladies and gentlemen, Mehmet Oz is up by 2 points in Pennsylvania. You can see right here, 3 points in one poll, 2 points in two other polls. We're going to get to why he's up a lot more. Laxalt is up in Nevada. Walker is up in Georgia. Baldock is up in New Hampshire. Masters is up in Arizona. And you have a very interesting article from 538. We'll talk about landslide, red wave, and we'll talk about why the beginning of this title is more accurate than the last couple of words. But hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. Hit subscribe to my super chat. I cannot thank you enough. I cannot do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. To my super chat, if you want to support my work and this channel, be here definitely on November 8th, November 7th, November 9th, but also November 8th. There's going to be a red wave. Dr. Evil 814! My man, why aren't I 55? Yes, a blast from the past. Dr. Evil 814, as always, starting it off. Thank you so very much. I know you'll be here, Dr. Evil, on November 8th for the landslide, for the red wave, for the when the chickens come home to roost. Joel Valdez, Law 2258, hello. And Eric, the samurai, hello. Let's just go really quickly. Why do you think, Dr. Evil 814, why do you think Oz is just up 0.1? Because you had typical public relations polls, okay? What takes place is the following. You have an intense media cycle. So if you look, these are the polls. Trafalgar, Remington, Marist, and then Fox 29. And if you look, ladies and gentlemen, Mehmet Oz is obviously defeating Fetterman. If Fetterman and Biden spoke, had a conversation, you'd have a better chance deciphering whale sounds. Or, you know, a pod of dolphins speaking to a bunch of whales. You'd have a better chance of deciphering what these dolphins and whales were saying via sonar than what Fetterman, or I should say Biden and Biden 2.0 were talking about. And so instead of focusing on inflation, which they caused, or crime, which they allowed run rampant, or the foreign policy catastrophe and nightmare, they're talking about democracy and their sensibilities on what they think is appropriate. Cash flow, Joel, Laura, hello. And so it's like Dr. Evil 814, thank you again. To my super chat, I cannot do this without you. When you look at the polling, what happens almost always is the following. You'll start with Fetterman in Pennsylvania. Okay, we will already be in an actual recession. So before the kind of inflated GDP, because if you take away oil exports and arms exports, you get a really terrible economy, which is what we have. Laxalt up 2.4. So, and Laxalt up 6 and 5. And then you have Warnock up 0.4. But if you look at Warnock and Herschel Walker, obviously Herschel Walker up 0.4. If you look at Herschel Walker and you look at Mehmet Oz, even Baldock in New Hampshire, that's primed for an upset right there. Because you have Maggie Hassan, oh, wow, what's this? Up 4 points! Even though 2 polls show Baldock up 1. So this is like, these aren't polling errors. These are public relations attempts at helping the Democrat. That's why when you have this article, Republicans are just a normal polling error away from a landslide or wiping out. Well, they're obviously not going to wipe out. They're obviously, it's like 55% now, according to Nate Silver's and 538's 40,000, the algorithm, or the, let's just see here, you have, how do they say it? 538 Senate. So, deluxe, super duper, Dr. Evil 814, it's the super duper deluxe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, awesome, new and improved model. And it simulates the contests 40,000 times. Why would you need to simulate it even 1,000 times? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? It simulates based on public relations polls that are only there to prop up the Democrat in the beginning of the cycle. You think that Fetterman was always up 12 during a recession? You think Warnock was up 7 or 8 when we're in a recession with crime running rampant? You think these Democrats were ever up, ever? That's not like, this is, and you think suddenly in the past month, suddenly all these independents and suddenly there was so much, like, if the polls didn't tell you within the past month that things had changed, they wouldn't have changed, or maybe they were always leaning towards Herschel Walker in Georgia. Maybe they were always leaning towards Adam Laxalt in Nevada. Maybe they were always leaning towards Mehmet Oz in Pennsylvania. Why do you think Fetterman did the debate? Why do you think he agreed to the debate? Joe Valdez! Even you can't stand it. They were falling, that's right. Jigsaw, hello. Angie, hello. Love Trucks, Pony Soldier, hello. Do you think that's what, do you think that this suddenly took place? That suddenly, they would have you believe that the polls reflect reality. They would have you believe a sampling of 500 or 1,000 people would reflect the sentiment of millions. These polls obviously do not reflect the sentiment of millions. Joel Valdez, thank you. Okay, what they do is initially try to prop up the Democratic candidate by saying, "Oh wow, even in a recession, extreme marbles are such a menace to democracy that the average voter would rather have crime and homelessness and recession and a terrible foreign policy and possible annihilation from ICBMs. Oh my goodness. Oh, what's this? Oh, goodness gracious. Biden 2.0 couldn't form a sentence. Oh, that helped Oz a lot. Oh, yes. Oh, Oz is up by a bunch of different... Oz is up in a couple of polls now. Well, because the debate performance changed things. Yes, the debate performance obviously pushed more people towards Oz. But those people would have already been inclined to vote for Oz anyway. And you have the biggest bunch of imbeciles, these Democratic strategists. They pumped $20 million into contests with extreme Republican Make America Great Agains. And what they didn't realize is that what they also did was pump more money to Oz. If you're pumping money to Mastriano or Kerry Lake, for example, you're helping Oz and you're helping Masters. You're helping Republicans, Trump Republicans, if you're boosting anyone on the ticket or anyone within the Trump Republican sphere. Democrats don't understand this. They run through intimidation, coercion. They don't have Twitter anymore. So they have this arrogance that, oh, well, we're, if we can have enough publications saying that Trump is extreme and that Republicans are out of the mainstream, then the average American won't vote for them Because the average American, of course, wants to be part of the mainstream. We decide what civility entails. We decide what normality is defined as. We decide what good Americans, how good Americans should behave. And if Elon Musk allows free speech, then we're going to get advertisers to pull. Don't you understand? Like, these people are so stupid. Elon Musk actually wants like Media Matters and all of these organizations to boycott Twitter and to push advertisers away from Twitter. This way he can justify charging AOC and others. Joel Valdez, they are total and complete imbeciles. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Dr. Evil 814. Starting it off as always, Dr. Evil. Thank you. Thank you. Don't they understand that Elon Musk actually wants all the hysteria so then he can say, gosh, I guess I'm going to have to fire the entire company and start new. Do you think that if the way Democrats and loyalists within different industries, business, tech, government, the way they react is apoplectic, hysterical, immediate, mindless, apoplectic, and hysterical reaction. Musk is allowing, it's the end of the world. He's going to amplify voices. Well, it's your responsibility to ensure that voices that are amplified, that you find reprehensible, are defeated through your ideas. You need compelling, well thought out arguments. You need to convince people that you're right and all the mean Trumpers are wrong. But if you can't do that, and the average American who has no political allegiance says, I'm going to vote. Like, I am more like the average person than a pundit on the left. Because if President Trump presided over, instead of record low unemployment, record highs in household median income, real wages up 1.1%, a growing economy, a great foreign policy, Doha Agreement, Abraham Accords, the first president to step foot in North Korea, no invasion under his watch. Instead, if Trump presided over inflation at 8 to 9%, Matrix, it's YouTube, it's not me. If Trump presided over inflation at 8 to 9%, crime soaring in cities, if Trump presided over an invasion in Europe, if Trump presided over a recession that we had, I wouldn't vote for Trump. I'd vote for Biden. Even though, I still wouldn't because of his foreign policy. But if Biden's foreign policy was an anti-interventionist foreign policy, I'd vote for Biden. I'm not bound by political allegiance. I wasn't born to vote either Democrat or Republican. I was born to vote for the politician that achieves the most, that is the most successful politician, that does the most good for the country. Not that adheres to an ideology, a failed, warped, twisted ideology. Winston, I hope that happens. I would love for Musk to rename Twitter the way Facebook tried to become Meta. So why wouldn't you vote for Oz in Pennsylvania? Especially, I do not understand the people of Pennsylvania who vote for Fetterman, knowing very well that coal and fracking and fossil fuels are a huge part of that state's economy. So why would you vote against you'd vote against your interests voting for Fetterman? Same thing in Georgia. It's a red state. Biden doesn't care. Democrats don't care about the Green New Deal or the climate or the environment anyway. They preach and pontificate, and then they flood 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves. So it's like they are obsessed with Trump. That's all they have. They're not even running. Democrats don't even run on their actual platform. Their platform is supposed to be to decarbonize the economy. They're not even running on that. They're not even mentioning. They're not even talking about the Green New Deal because they're embarrassed of it. They released 200 million barrels, Biden did, mashed potato brains, of strategic petroleum reserves, then begged OPEC to increase oil production as he wants to decarbonize the economy. Does that make any sense at all? I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And you have like you're seeing slowly, like YouTube, like we have 188 viewers. We might get 250, 300 viewers, but we should have like 3,000 now. We should have like 1,000, and we will on November 8th, but people don't realize it. People don't see until like there's been this like syndrome, this malaise, this like Trump supporters or people who vote for Trump, 70 plus million. See, they don't realize that there aren't like one or two Trump supporters. There are 70 million Trump supporters. They don't realize that. But so many, like for so long, since 2016, we had November of 2016. Gnarly news, hello. In November of 2016, Trump defeated the system. He defeated Clinton, an entire public relations monstrosity and apparatus. And since 2016, he's had to contend with a Steele dossier, endless fake news, endless. Thousands upon thousands of articles. Love Trucks! Great at NJHA on the lead up to the Tuesday. Thank you so very much, Love Trucks. Thank you. Thank you. He has had to contend, Love Trucks and Dr. Evil 814 and Joel Valdez. He's had to contend with a special counsel. They want another special counsel, endless investigations. Democrats have leveled, and then they've leveled government against him, against their political rivals. They've silenced people on Twitter. Twitter was, you're talking about commandeering something. Twitter was commandeered. Twitter was taken over by the morally superior, highly educated, almost always hysterical and apoplectic, wonderful liberal Democrats. And they silenced people. They were normalized just, pulling someone's hat off their head, which is a typical, these are the same Democrats who think that Trump foments chaos. And you have far more examples of criminality from the Democratic Party side. You have two operatives, according to CNN, who were fomenting chaos at Trump's rallies. That's in 2016. And they say, oh, well, he said a bunch of things and he promoted chaos and mayhem. It's like, no. Trump didn't promote anything. They sensationalized all of his words. And what media does is what they want Trump to mean, even though he doesn't, he might say something at that moment just to get a reaction from a crowd. And what Democrats will do is, this means he's fomenting chaos in this location and that location. It's like, no. You had people who have ended people's lives because they were Clinton supporters. You had one person here, I won't even bring it up, so we'll just, it'll be charades, but here. Okay, here. Hold on. Now, there was a... Here. There was a... This is a press telegram. A woman holding a 2-year-old... 35 years to life. Okay? This man was given 35 years to life. And you have SoCal man sentenced for ending woman's life during political argument over 2016. Want to know who was sentenced? A Clinton supporter. A Southern California man who ended the life of a woman holding her 2-year-old son. Okay? Okay? Now, you don't get the liberal pundits talking about this, dude. This is just one example. There are other examples, too. Okay? This is actual news. That you're not going to hear this from the morally superior. You're not going to hear this from the million-sub YouTube pundits who just never bring up actual news. You're not going to hear this from MSNBC or CNN, but it's right there. And the person who ended the life of a woman who was holding her 2-year-old son was a supporter of Clinton. A Democrat. Okay? So, the man pulled out saying he had voted for... He was teased for saying he had voted for Hillary Clinton and told him to leave. So, and he went after 2 people, almost ended the lives of 2 people in front. And so this, where is this? Where did Clinton condemn this? No. So it's like, it's public record. The real chaos and the real chaos and mayhem comes from the left to the right. And that is obvious. That is obvious. Opie, hello. That's obvious. I mean, that's just one example of numerous examples. I think you had a teenager in Idaho. Was it Idaho or Montana? I mean, you have a completely unhinged political party on the left. Completely unhinged. And instead of actually focusing on what they claim to care so much about, which is an end to political chaos and mayhem, they foment it, then blame Republicans for fomenting it. And it's like, you don't have to look. And like you see what happened like in San Francisco. Oh, it's Trump. It's like, no. It's nothing to do with Trump. Do you think Hillary Clinton is at fault for what this man did to a woman and her 2-year-old child? The media sensationalizes and obsesses over stories that suit one political party over another. They always do that. They always do that. And then they wonder, well, gosh, how come political discourse is, Johnny, okay, South Dakota. Bobby, thank you. Dr. Evil, yes. So it's like, they always do that. Love Trucks, thank you again. They always do that. But Tuesday will be a complete paradigm shift. Like I'm trying to tell people, I'm trying to tell people that it's easy to refute the ladies at The View. You just, point out that atrocity of a Hillary Clinton supporter ending the life of a woman in front of her 2-year-old son and husband. But there's many, many examples. Then you could look at the fiery but mostly peaceful in front of CNN journalists, a building set ablaze. You don't have to look far. It's public record. People have even, there were even, memes and, you see what's going on. The problem is that Democratic voters, by and large, start with an ideological allegiance. And then, Republicans too, but the difference is that the Republican Party has been wrestled away from the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld people. So you have people, if Trump said to the Lincoln Project, hey, you know what, come on back in, I wouldn't vote for Trump. See, the difference between me and a Democrat is that if Donald Trump does certain things that I don't like, I wouldn't vote for him. Biden can release 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves, the most hysterical and morally superior climate activists will still vote for him. There is nothing that Democrats can't do against their own voters. They will always vote for them. Democrats will always vote for a Democrat, no matter what. I will not always vote for Trump. And what I find egregious is not a person's personality. I find if a person's policies are horrendous, I don't care about them. If a person's policies are bad or if they're very good and they lead to a great economy like Trump, that's how I judge a president. I judge a president by his accomplishments, not by his personality. Democrats look at things as marketing, personality, public relations. They have to vote for a certain candidate because otherwise they'll lose their friends. They won't be invited into Facebook groups. They'll be kicked out. They'll be ostracized. There are no Trump Republican spheres of influence that will ostracize a Trump Republican if he votes Democrat. It's just whatever. Do what you want to do. Who cares? I don't care. If my friends vote, if the few friends I have left, I don't have many friends actually, which is fine. It's fantastic. I had a lot of friends before Trump, and now I have very few, which is absolutely good because now I know who to trust and who not to trust. But, do I care? What do I care if somebody votes Biden? If you want to decline to the West, hello. If you want to vote creating with wingless, hello. If you want to vote for recession and crime, go ahead. What do I care? I don't care. You want to vote for a terrible foreign policy? Go ahead. Thank you, Eric. Samurai, thank you. Why would it matter to me? But see, what they do, this is the apoplectic nature also of a lot of Democratic voters. Not all, but a lot. They'll say you saw this on Twitter, this is the end of the world. Oh, all the voices will be amplified. It's well, if you don't like those voices being amplified, debate them. Defeat them in a discussion. Use your ideas. Use your morally superior ideology to defeat them. Or just use basic logic. I've never seen a political climate where the left was so petrified and frightened of discussion. Henry, man! Great content, H.A. Thank you, Henry. Greatly appreciated, Henry. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate that very much. I always appreciate the kind words and your support, Henry. Be here. 4 days from now? No, 3 days. What do I say? Do I know how to count? 3 days from now. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday. Remember those monster cars? Who remembers the monster cars in the 80s? Sunday, monster car show. Henry, man, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Henry. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. I can't do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, Henry, everybody here, Dr. Evil, everybody here, Joel Valdez, be here Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be, nobody realizes it. You know what it's like? It's like The Super Bowl is on Tuesday. Our team is favored by 10 points. But I think the fans cannot imagine our team winning. They can't, unless it happens in front of them. Like, once it happens, there will be a paradigm. Oh my God, we're going to impeach mashed potato brains. We're actually going to impeach him on potential felonies. Oh my, it's happening. It's happening. Because we're so used to being on the defensive, or, them being on the offensive. Henry, man, awesome. Thank you, Henry. Thank you. Awesome, Henry. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Every content creator to the right of center is going to have an amazing. Every supporter of Trump that's a content creator is going to have amazing live streams. I'll probably start my live stream at like 4 p.m. No. I'll probably start a live stream at like 12, and then another one at 4 p.m. And so it's just going to be amazing. It's just going to be, DC, hello. Henry, thank you so very much. Henry, man, thank you. I'm glad, be here, Henry, and everybody here, Dr. Evil, Joel Valdez. I'm drinking cranberry juice. I want to drink like things that help the throat and just help the voice, and so and then there's water. So cranberry juice. In fact, I'll put some water in the cranberry juice. Look at that. Right here. Put some water in cranberry juice. So, a tailgate would be fantastic. Red drinks. It's a party on Tuesday. I mean, I'm gonna cook some steaks. Yeah. I have to eat my Wheaties because I'm gonna try to do like 3-hour live streams. So I'll try to do 2 3-hour live streams and then an upload, and then uploads on oh no. Henry, maybe in the evening, but nobody will know. I mean, if it was allowed, then I don't even know if even if it was allowed. You see me with a big bottle here. Laxalt, what's up? Herschel Walker. Rob, hello. Yeah, it's gonna be a party. I mean, think of the meltdown here. Look. Here, this is just Trump. Rob Reiner says Trump is the single most unqualified. But what qualifies the president? Record highs in household median income, which is what we had under Trump, or record highs in inflation, which is what we have under mashed potato brains Joe. What you have to understand that the sensibilities of liberal millionaires are not the sensibilities of the average American. So, if you're a millionaire and you're liberal, what do you care if inflation? Your idea of democracy is just not having Trump there. So, let's look at already the not hyperbole. This is the best. Hold on. This is. Hold on. Here. Not hyperbole. Okay, it's not hyperbole? Okay. I vote for a Republican as a vote to end democracy. I mean, you can't get... He's become the satire. Like, he is now a character in Spinal Tap. If Spinal Tap was about politics. Henry, thank you. Jibby John, thanks for the content. Go Astros. A tears for Phillies tonight and on Tuesday when Fetterman loses. Yes, Jibby John, thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Jibby John. Greatly appreciated. Ray J. Burkhardt, thank you. Thank you, Ray. Jibby John, thank you so much for watching. Henry, man, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, Henry. Jibby John, thank you so very, very much. Yeah, man, the Astros, my goodness. My goodness. They've had a good series. Wow. They got a good team. It's I'm a little sore from them beating the Dodgers many years back, but yeah, they got a good team. Jibby John, thank you so very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Henry, thank you. Ray, thank you. Can you imagine Rob Reiner saying a vote for a Republican is a vote to end democracy? But democracy entails what? Democrats with a ministry of truth, Democrats controlling Twitter, Democrats suppressing dialogue and discourse, debates suspending the New York Post. What does democracy entail? Worshipping intelligence agencies? I mean, it's like, it's unbelievable. And then you have like President Biden couldn't have been clearer. Really, nobody understands what he says. These midterms will decide whether we want to preserve our 246-year democratic experiment. What? From tyranny to surrender to the tyranny. Only Democrats want to do away with the Second Amendment, which is the one... The most important defense against tyranny is the Second Amendment. And I used to think... I actually wrote an article in the Huffington Post years back poking fun at that viewpoint, but it's true. You can see that the invading country is now... We're sending arms to the invading country. The country invaded under Biden's watch. But these people are like... You have to understand, like, they live in an alternate reality. Rob Reiner does not live in reality. He's a Hollywood, multi-millionaire in Hollywood. He doesn't care if inflation... He doesn't care if people can't afford eggs or bread or milk. Or people have to, like... use different credit cards to pay for gas and fuel. He doesn't care. Okay? He doesn't care. So, I mean, this is like the most hilarious responses. Does he not understand there's going to be a red wave if you don't vote for Democrats or don't vote at all? You are choosing to live under totalitarianism. No, that's the world we live in with Democrats. It's Democrats who want to take away the Second Amendment and do away with the First Amendment and completely erase people from existence. Or let's put it this way. They want to punish people for speech they don't like instead of educating people, being thoughtful, compassionate, using logic, rational and thoughtful and compelling arguments to defeat ideas they don't like. So, this is not hyperbole. Basically, everything he said, it's like opposite day with Rob Reiner. This is hyperbole. A vote for Republicans is definitely going to bolster democracy. It's unbelievable, too. It's Democrats who are the moralists now. Democrats have become the Lincoln Project Trump Republicans that were kicked out of the Republican Party. They don't realize that. They don't realize that. By the way, there was speaking of Meathead, there was an All in the Family article, segment, where the same tired, flawed arguments against the Second Amendment were addressed in that episode. And it's like, this is even before the mass atrocities took place, where people, like, commit these mass atrocities, speaking in roundabout terms. But, like, and they never address the issue of protecting your family. You have Democrats who spend $30,000 or more on security details. I mean, on every topic, when push comes to shove, the Democrat becomes a Trump Republican. Oil prices up, Biden releases 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves. Progressive Congresswoman needs protection. What, 30 to 40,000 more or more on security detail. You had the Second Amendment. You don't even need the security detail. Learn how to defend yourself. But it's not just here. Let's just hear. The reaction will be amazing. Oh, here's a good one. What further proof do you need that they are irredeemable? Redemption from whom? Who should we seek redemption from? House Republicans fed a loop about, oh my God, it's information that misinforms. You mean like the Steele dossier, Miss Midler? The economy will come back. Message to undecided voters. The economy will come back. Don't worry, the economy will come back, but our democracy can't. Yeah, I can't even read it. Your rights may not. You mean the Second Amendment rights? Your First Amendment rights? These people live in an alternate universe. They're irredeemable. They don't need redemption from Hollywood. The average Republican, or Trump Republican, I should say, doesn't need redemption from Hollywood. So, Emily C., happy Thanksgiving. Exactly. Exactly. It's going to be Thanksgiving, New Year's, Halloween for Democrats, Nightmare on Elm Street. Emily C., thank you. Thank you, Emily. Thank you so very, very much. It certainly does. Eric the Samurai. Thank you, Emily, as always. Please be here, Emily, on November 8th. We'll see the absolute meltdown from morally superior millionaires in Hollywood, who, by the way, dealt with the most reprehensible people to make their movies, but, What further proof do you need? What further proof do you need? What further proof do you need? Misinformation loop about a story that makes absolutely no sense at all. It's called suspicion, Bette Midler. Suspicion. They don't trust the Democratic narrative on anything. Most people don't. Even Bernie Sanders, who's an absolute tool of the Democratic Party. And, the more you listen to Bernie, and I was like the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to Huffington Post, the more you realize he knows nothing about the economy. It's really sad. He's like, oh, you know what? These corporations are making more money. That's why inflation's going up. It's like, well, they were losing billions when Democrats pushed to tank the U.S. economy. Then what happened was the normal and natural market reaction to an economy that had zero demand for goods to an economy that immediately had immense demand for goods. But it's like explaining the economy to Bernie Sanders is like teaching your house cat quantum physics. And I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet. I know he's a very good person. I'm not saying he's not a good human being, but he knows nothing. That's why the economy's in shambles now, and he's still trying to prop up the Democratic Party. Democrats caused inflation themselves because they went after the oil and gas industry. Fossil fuels went exponentially, record highs in price, so they single-handedly did that. They didn't. The renewables were not doing the job at all. They're only a tiny percentage of the economy. And so now they're begging OPEC. They released 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves, which is the only reason that oil prices are even manageable. And it's like, that's the mentality. The mentality is, oh, they're irredeemable. No one needs redemption from Bette Midler or anyone else. They fed that information that you believe misinforms because nobody trusts the actual narrative. It doesn't make sense. Nothing about that makes sense. And then they like I said, if you look at that Hillary Clinton supporter who ended the life of a woman in front of her 2-year-old child, that's reported everywhere in California, you think Bette Midler even knows about that? and the narrative, if you are suspicious of the Democratic narrative, you are irredeemable. Henry, hello. They say Moscow, but everything they did to Trump, they tried to do to Bernie beforehand. Henry, thank you. Thank you, Henry. They happen to think, like, it's interesting, the way the average Democrat thinks. Let's see, Twitter and Elon Musk. Let's look at what he... So this is, in a way, like, I don't think liberal political action committees understand this. They don't realize that Elon Musk wants the outrage. They don't understand that. Emily C., thank you so very much. Florida Man Bear, hello. Emily C., thank you so much. I don't think they realize this does not mean what people think it means. Twitter has a massive drop in revenue due to activist groups pressuring. The revenue is not really only because of the advertisers, which, by the way, are momentary. Elon Musk knows probably 40, 50, 60, 100, 200 CEOs around the world who would have no problem advertising on Twitter. He doesn't need to go through ad agencies. If you had a team of people with just cell phones calling up the marketing department or the advertising department or marketing department of any major corporation, you could replace the revenue within a matter of months, less than that. So, and then he's hilarious. Like, even though nothing has changed with content moderation, well, he's going to change he's going to allow people to actually voice their thoughts and their opinions. So, Emily, thank you so very much. So, the reason that the reason he purchased Twitter is to make sure that his rivals in business, his rivals in government, don't utilize it to go after him, to stop him, to ruin his chances in the future of achieving certain objectives or goals, or that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. It's not like he's not doing it to help humanity, although it's helping humanity. He's doing it because Twitter directly affected him, his future. Elon Musk's adversaries would have used Twitter against him. And that's what would have happened. They would have used Twitter against him. I mean, Twitter was like, if you had a completely dysfunctional, highly educated, apoplectic, almost always hysterical, morally superior liberal Democrat, and you turned that person into a social media platform, it would be Twitter. So, yeah, that's why it's losing money. Because only one side was banned, suspended. Only one side generally was banned and suspended. Only articles that were detrimental to the Democratic Party were deemed as suspicious. So, it's like, they're not going to have Twitter anymore. So it's kind of hilarious because they're just not going to have Twitter. The Democrats will not have Twitter anymore. So, oh Lord. The thing that Twitter allowed Democrats to do is make absurd leaps of logic. Adam, hello. Regarding Twitter's reduction, unfortunately, there is no choice when the company is losing $4 million a day. It was losing $4 million a day prior to Musk. Well, I mean, it was probably losing $4 million a day prior to Musk. Everyone excited was offered 3 months of severance. Everyone exited, which is 50% more than legally required. It's kind of like exactly Emily C. Exactly. Twitter was a way to suppress and amplify emotions, beneficial to one political party. That's what Twitter was about. It was about emotions. When Democrats say information that misinforms, they're not. Why don't they just say false information, falsehoods? They don't say falsehoods. Information that misinforms is a euphemism. That word that I'm not saying is an actual euphemism for an opposing viewpoint detrimental to the Democratic Party that promotes distrust and suspicion. There you go. So, it's you have to understand also, like, every single time from here on out, Democrats and media try to create a sacred cow. It could be any topic. They won't have Twitter to do so. They won't have Twitter to do so. They won't have Twitter to enforce sensibilities, to amplify or enforce the sensibilities of morally superior liberal Democrats. So if you look, people, let's look at you could very well have a 54. Nevada, definitely. Arizona, I think Blake Masters. Georgia, I think Herschel Walker. Pennsylvania, I don't think they'll, Biden 2.0. New Hampshire, that's it, 54 right there. 54. And it'll be interesting, even if it's 51 with a huge red wave in the House, it will be interesting to see how Democrats, how they justify their loss. How do they explain their loss? They've spent the past 6 years talking about how Trump is a menace to democracy. Democracy has has resulted in a red wave. Democracy is about people choosing their officials, choosing the politicians that govern them. So they've redefined. They keep on talking. When you focus on political philosophy instead of the economy, you've already lost. So their whole thing was political philosophy. Oh my God. Trump is horrible. John Lelane, hello. I apologize, John. I still haven't checked. Believe it or not, I know this is very bizarre. I haven't checked my email for these channels. I know it sounds very bizarre. Like, why wouldn't you check email? It's contactgoodman88@gmail.com. One day I'll check it. I'll probably check it this weekend. I check it like once every week or 2 weeks. But for some reason, it's been longer than that. John Lelane, hello. Let's go ahead and let's do a poll. How many Trump Republican Senate seats be picked up? All right here. Let me know. John Lelane, I hope all is well. How many Trump Republican Senate seats will be picked up? So how many will be, is it 1, 2, 3, 4? So will it be 51 seats or 52, or will there be over 52 seats, like 54? Talk to me, people. Paul 48, hello. I think over 52 also. I really do. I do. Washington is close. I think Democrats will get that. New Hampshire, I think you could get a Republican. New York's Tammany Hall. So even though Lee Zeldin should win, might be tough. So yeah, I think that over 52 also. Oh yeah. I agree with you, Henry. I agree with you on that. Bob, hello. Rob, hello. Angie, hello. So yeah, Blake Masters is a really, really, really interesting. See the trends. You look at the trends here. Republicans were doing very well. Then there was the Mar-a-Lago raid. Okay. And then Republicans didn't do well. Kelly +1, but considering that every poll showed Kelly +5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's like pretty amazing. Herschel Walker, that Baldick is an amazing one too. I love this. Like he's up in like 2 consecutive polls, and suddenly, Hassan up 4. How did that happen? Oh, okay. Well. Walker up 0.4. That is fantastic. Walker up 4. Amazing. Latest poll, it was Remington Research. So, yeah, I mean, It looks pretty good. Oh, I know, Henry. I mean, what they're saying about Herschel Walker, they're trying to compare Herschel Walker, who speaks in a regional dialect. He communicates in essentially a regional dialect. And many people in the South communicate and express themselves in the manner that Herschel Walker does. And what Democrats do is that they've basically shown who they really are. Nobody communicates the way Fetterman does. Unless, like, if Yoda was an alcoholic, then you'd see Yoda communicate like Fetterman. But, yeah, Emily C., I did. It's just, it's just unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And that's all they have is public relations. That's all they have. They only have public relations. It's the only thing they have. They can't point to any and what I tell people, Tron Beetle, hello. What I tell people all the time is this. Exactly, Mox, hello. What I tell people is this. Exactly, J Beam. Exactly. Impeachment is around the corner. So, impeachment is around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. Lisa C! Lisa! Greatly appreciated. Just having you here is just the best thing possible. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much, Lisa. Just the fact that you're here is all I need. I appreciate that, Lisa. Thank you so very, very much. Before Joe, this would have been 90. Thanks a lot, mashed potato brains, Joe. Impeachment is around the corner, people. I don't think that's the sweet spot. That's like what I'm like. I focus primarily on things that the algorithm can't suppress. So there's no way to suppress impeachment. Discussion of potential felonies. And so it's in the New York Post and Daily Mail. This is public record knowledge. Can't be bribing U.S. officials. That's against the law. It's a felony. U.S. officials can't be enriching themselves, utilizing their posts as government officials. So, you look, ladies and gentlemen, and it's like, impeachment's around the corner. Trump officially announcing is around the corner. Baldock, this is a great one. This would be the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. Like Democrats, you imagine they turn on the people. New Hampshire! I hope a blizzard obliterates New Hampshire for voting Republican. They still can't. The Democrats are like, they're going to take your rights away. Like, well, it's 15 weeks. They're not taking anything away. It's 15 weeks, generally. There are some complete bans, but there's only like 4 states. Generally, it's 15 weeks. And of course, Lindsey Graham does the stupidest thing possible. He's like, oh, let's have a national right before the midterms. Like, you know. Oh my God, they'll be so upset at New Hampshire. Can you imagine? Meathead, the people of New Hampshire have chosen tyranny. Well, why would you equate a Republican victory with tyranny? Oh, that's right. You're a mindless ideologue. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. And then, like, they spent $20 million in $19 million on propping up Republicans, and they're losing to these same Republicans, or at least the political side they help prop up. They don't realize then, and they propped up Mastriano. It helps Oz. you're getting more people to vote for Mastriano, and those people will also vote for Oz. You're getting more people to vote for Trump Republicans in Georgia or Arizona or Nevada, and those people will also vote for the candidates that have a chance to win. Paul 48, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I will be back probably around 9 p.m. Pacific tonight. So be here for the live stream, 9 p.m. Pacific, people. Thank you so very, very, very much. Be here at around 9. We're going to have another awesome live stream. You've been absolutely fantastic. Henry, everybody here, Dr. Evil 814, everyone here. Thank you so much. Joel Valdez, everyone, thank you to my super chat. Thank you. Be here tonight at around 9 p.m. Pacific, everybody. Shavua Tov, Angie, thank you so very, very much. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you at 9.